let's hope it's gonna last and not crash. And I can share my screen. Share screen. Yay. Okay, so today we can look into blueprints, which, sorry, I'm gonna be coughing a little bit. So blueprints are, I think I mentioned that before. Blueprints are a programming language or visual scripting. Better word for it is a visual scripting. So basically, it's a programming, but you don't have to write a code or lines of code. You just kind of connecting nodes together, and something will happen when you connect them properly. So we are gonna class say 006, and I'm gonna make a new level completely empty. We're gonna put light in there. Pum 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 pum. And so we are gonna move this into a folder, and it says lighting, lighting. So now this is our center of our word, and um, we can create something. I was going pointing you out for the assets just because I saw there's some kind of a village or something that looked really cool. So from there would be like a nice nice thing to kind of walk around through that or something. But I'm gonna start with the blueprints much simpler than that, but eventually we can progress. So I'm just gonna make landscape that it's gonna be just flat, nothing on it. I don't want any material. I'm just gonna make it as simple as possible and as small as possible. Boop. So that's my landscape. I'm just doing it because so we are able to put a character on it. So next step, I'm gonna add player spelling player start. Just gonna put a player start in here. So that's gonna be a place where we spawn when we start the game. Right there. And so as you know, in our word setting, we can set our third-party person character, and we start playing. Now we're in the word, and we can walk around it. But there's really nothing to do for us at this point, so we can eject from the game, and let's do something about it. So in order to make the word or the level live, obviously there has to be some kind of there's a lot of things that goes into it, right? So in a game, you have a game design, you have environmental design, you have a gameplay design, your character design, movement, animation, all that stuff kind of comes together. But all of those ideas, even you as a visual concept artist, if you create concepts, they have to come to engineers, or they come to programmers or coders, and they start creating something that it's live. It's starting to interact and starting to do something that the player will enjoy, because nobody will probably enjoy just running around in circles doing nothing. So for us, as I am not a programmer, I do not understand really well how C++ works. I kind of default into blueprints. So a lot of things that I can do in the blueprints. I'm gonna open up a blueprint class. So blueprint class is something like a container. Think about a class as a container. So blueprint blueprint class is like we're creating now new set of instruction for the computer and for the program to do something. So it's a container. We can create there's some basic containers or basic classes of blueprints, and then we have all classes. So all of those are available to us. The difference is that they're kind of like a presets. So if I create an actor class, I can turn the actor class into pawn or character or controller. I can do that. But if I choose already controller, a lot of my things are preset already for me to have an easy access or not forget some components or something to make it actually work. So for example, first class, it's the basic class of or basic container that contains some kind of actor. So that's actor, pawn, and character. The difference are kind of written right here. If you look at the pawn, is an actor that can be possessed and receive input from the controller. So pawn can be something like NPCs or AI that's running around and maybe trying to attack us or something. And a character is a type of pawn that includes the ability to walk around, including and it can be possessed with the player. But both of them they kind of have its own specific moments or specific use. So for now, I'm just gonna create a basic actor and explain what happens when we open a blueprint. So basic actor, with the naming convention, we usually use BP for blueprint, and this one is gonna be basic. I'm just gonna do something very simple here. So if I double click and open, I get my blueprint editor. So this is my blueprint. Um, we have a couple different. So it almost looks like it's an Unreal, what we were looking at. So I can drag it and put it right here. So it looks almost like this, but this is the editor for blueprints. So we have our components on the left side. We have our blueprint variables and macros and functions right here, and of course on the right side we have our details specific, and then in the middle we have our workspace, the place where we're going to be working and creating the blueprints. Also, you notice we have three different how do you call it, tabs. So this one is a viewport tab. So this is visual. This is, for example, if we do something that has some kind of visual component, it has a mesh or it has a something in it. This is how it's going to look like. So we have a viewport for that. And we also have the construction script and event graph. The difference between those two is as follow. The event graph, it's for actions or program or function that happen only if we start the play button as we start the game, like here, this one, the green one. Construction script actions will happen in the moment we put the blueprint into the level. So I'm going to demonstrate this with very simple prom. Basically, very simple effect that happens. So every programmer in the world probably, or since the 80s when we were really getting into programming, what happened was that the first word the computer says was hello world, right? So somebody created a program that printed on screen and the computer says hello world. So we can do that here too. Um, Before I do that, I'm just going to explain a little bit this icon, these presets that we have here. So event, these red ones, anything that's red like this as a red outline on the top is an event. Event is something happens that triggers the action after it. So we have event here. I'm gonna delete these two so we don't get confused. We have events as event begin play. So that means that the moment that we press the play button right here, that we start playing the game, something will happen. So in order to make something happen, we have to pull out of this like a little triangle-ish thing, which is the execution pin. So we pull out, and if you let go, you're gonna get like a sub menu or like a selection menu that where you can start typing your functions. So let's say we're gonna print string. So we're gonna print string and say hello world, and we're gonna open up this little arrow and we're gonna keep it there for 10 seconds. Duration, it's gonna be 10 seconds. So now, because this is a program, you need to compile it. So the program has to be compiled, meaning it needs to get calculated, and it's a good thing to save. Now, in order to this program run, it needs to live inside the level. So we need to drag it and drop it inside the level. So now you can see it as a blueprint. It appears our outliner. If I delete it, it doesn't, it's not inside our level, but I have to take it and drag it there. So now it's gonna get executed when we start something. So now when I start to play the game, watch this little corner right here, right on this side. So I start it and it says hello world. So now we have to make the computer say hello world. And once I stop it, then we're out of the game. If I do it again, it's gonna say again, hello world, and it's gonna take 10 seconds. And it's gonna disappear. So that's a first piece of code, first of program that we have created. Now, if I go back to the blueprint editor and I disconnect this pin by pushing Alt and clicking on it, it will disconnect the pin. So now the flow of the program, the execution, doesn't exist anymore. So if I compile again and I click on play, nothing happened. It doesn't appear. It's not there. So there always have to be whatever you want to happening, it needs to go through the execution pin. So all the functions, everything has to get connected through this. Now, I said there's difference between event graph and construction script. So in construction script, that anything in construction script happen immediately when we put the blueprint into the level, or if we do something with the blueprint, meaning we move it or do something like that. So we do the same thing. We're gonna go print string, and then we say hello word word uh, construction script construct. Did I spell it right? I don't know. And I'm gonna just put this one for 5 seconds so we don't have to be waiting for it. Um, so we compile, and now you can see there's actually a flow happening as the program is working. So if I go to, I'm gonna delete my blueprint now from the level, and the moment I drop the blueprint in, you're gonna see, unsave, save it. Come on. Don't mess with me now. Did I forgot something? Level. Yeah. Save. it should be showing me hello world. But let's see why it's not happening. So compile. Yep. Screen. No. Print screen. Uh, let's see. Let's treat something different. Let's maybe this one. Let's see. Interesting. Let me just. Would that be messing with me? Stop messing with me. Hmm. Oh, maybe print string doesn't work in construction script. Oh, that's interesting. Hmm.
I was thinking it's something like that.
I thought that that's going to be the simplest way to show printer string, printer the log. So the log should actually show it. Hmm. Yeah, the log is showing it. The screen is not. Huh. Hmm. Interesting. I'm gonna have to think about. Well, I'm not gonna. Huh. Let's try print text. It's interesting why the print string doesn't do what we need it to do. Nope. Hmm, that's interesting. Um. Okay. I'll move on from this one, but I'll come back to it. I didn't. I thought it's gonna be the easiest way to show. Um. I guess we're gonna have to find another way to show construction script. So anyway, if you look to if I look to the editor, and every time you see that those little bubbles like running through the execution pane, that you see that it's executing, meaning it's running the script. So if I move the blueprint or I do something with the blueprint, you can see that it's running the script. So that happens without us actually playing the or pushing the play button. That's just happened because the script exists in the level and we're using the construction script to do. So what are the construction scripts good for? So for example, if you say do something that you're building inside a level, let's say you do road or you create a spline and then you want to populate a spline, and that's going to be part of your environment. That's where you're going to use construction script, where once you put the spline in and you start extend the spline, it's going to be building the static mesh on top of the spline so you can basically build your environments. And that's a construction script because you're not going to build your environment once your event or once your game is running. You need to do it while you. So construction is construct things within the editor, and apparently doesn't print anything out. So that's good to know. Um, yeah, that's disappointing. Uh, well, I'll continue what we have here in the event graph, and then we can look more closely in the print. So we have basic aspects of the blueprint. So we have an event begin place, so something starts, and then we print something out. What we can do, for example, we can, let's say, for some reason, as I did with the construction script that didn't work, we can get a location of our blueprint within the Word. So our default scene, as you can see in a viewport here, this is our viewport scene default. This is our 000 in the Word. So the cool thing about this is that we can grab the default root scene just by clicking and dragging into the editor, and if we drop it, it's gonna create a reference to it or like a variable that we can use. Now, if we pull a pin out of it, so this is not execution pin anymore. This is like a variable pin, like a work pin, a flow pin. So basically, if we pull out of it, out of the blue dot, I can now ask to find a word location. So word location. So get word location, and we're getting, so this is another function. So we're getting word location of this element, and the element is our default scene root. So it's the center of our blueprint. And we can take the return value. So that's going to be X, Y, and Z within a 3D space, and we can print it into the string. You can also click many times in on the function like this, and because it has a vector value, meaning it has three values, you can right click and you can say split struct pin, and it's gonna give you the values separately, so you can use those to do some operation that you want to, or we can recombine and just plug it into the string. So now we're missing the execution pin, so the actually the code flow. So the flow from the code is the event begin starts, it hits the print string, and it says do something. So print string is gonna print something. What the print string is gonna print? It's gonna print the word location of our default scene root. So now if we compile and we go to our game and we click, now we have Z, Y, X, Y, and Z values of our blueprint into the word printed there. That's cool and all, but what can we do with this? So for example, we do something, let's say you want to do a teleport. So our character is gonna go, he's gonna hit certain point, and once he hits the point, it teleports as somewhere else, right? So for that, we gonna create something in order is something that it's more recognizable, so we have a little bit more control of what's happening. So I'll take this cube, and this cube is blue, and I'm gonna make another duplicate, and this one's gonna be red. So just so we know. Uh, and I'm gonna place it right here, and I'm gonna change the material. So I'm gonna duplicate this, rename, and it's gonna be red. And now we're gonna change it to red. All right. So now we have, I'm gonna change this material here, drop it on our material. So now we have red cube and we have a blue cube. Now we're gonna take the blueprint that we have, the basic, and I'm gonna place it right next to my red cube, uh, right there. And then I want to um, this cube actually, well, we can work here to create something called trigger box. So we can do, so there's a couple of different ways this can be done. This is just one of them, and then I explain the other one. All these cubes, they can also be turned into a blueprints, meaning they can have their own functions and they can be used as a blueprints. So I'll show you that in later in a sec. So for now, we're just gonna do trigger trigger box. So I'm gonna put trigger box on this cube. Let's put it a little bigger, a little bit bigger. So accommodate the cube. Yeah, I just want to make sure that we hit it. All right, perfect. So now, we can do this again. We can do this couple different ways, but now I'm going to do it in a level blueprint because it's a little bit easier to maybe understand. So I can open level blueprint. I think we talked about it already. So level blueprint is like the on top of hierarchy blueprint that has access to many other aspects of the level. Because your basic blueprint, you have to do a little bit of workaround to access other blueprints, for example. So, but a level blueprint can access every blueprint in the level. So I'm gonna delete event tick for now, and we have a event begin play here on the event graph. We're gonna leave this one there, but what we can do, we have our box selected. We have a trigger box is selected, and if we go to the blueprint and right click, we're gonna see call function. No, add event graph. Sorry, add event graph and collision, uh, and on actor begin overlap. So meaning the moment the trigger box uh, will overlap with the character that we have in the level, something will happen. So actor begin overlap. So now we have another, so this is event that happens when we start playing the game. This is event that just waiting for something to happen. And when it that happen, that what it's waiting for, it's gonna execute something. So we're gonna put execution pin, and now we have to tell it that we are looking, or that it's looking or waiting for our character. So we're gonna cast to uh, BP third party, third person character. That's our character. And that's gonna go to other actor. So now this trigger or this a box is waiting for this a character, this particular third person character that we have a level to cross or to overlap. And when it starts overlapping, something will happen. So we're gonna go set actor uh, set location, and the new location for the actor. So now we're gonna set a location for the actor, and the new location, it's gonna be the blueprint that we have created in the level. So the basic blueprint. So if we click on a basic blueprint, now we have it selected, and we can get the reference to basic blueprint. So this is our blueprint reference. We can pull and get word location, and then we connect it to here and compile and save. So let's see if this is gonna work. So we're in a game. I'm gonna come to the red box. Oh, and I'm in the red box now. I teleported. So one more time, I'm gonna start, and we're in a blue box. We're gonna come to the blue box, boom, and we're in a red box. We teleported. Yay! Applause.
Um, could you go back to the
Yep.
basic blueprints for a
Yeah.
second?
Totally.
Just so I can refresh my memory of what was in there.
Yeah.
Okay,
This
okay.
this this doesn't this does not matter at all. We are only using that blueprint as a reference point. So there's nothing in this thing. There's literally nothing here that as any action to what we do. This is just a point because we don't have this cube. We cannot reference this cube. We cannot create because that's not a blueprint. So we cannot reference it. Maybe we can. Um, Uh,
Oh, so you're basically teleporting to the blueprint and not the box.
yes, yes.
Okay, okay, that makes sense.
But theoretically, let me see if I can reference the cube. Oh yeah, I can reference the cube here. So it doesn't even have to be. So I can do the same thing actually, but if I do this, so right now, let me move this one away. Come on. So right now, what we are getting is the location of the cube. But the problem with that is, do you know where we gonna transport when we do that? What we just did here. So this is the cube, and it's coming to the root component and the word location. Can you think of place where we actually gonna transport to?
You're probably gonna transport inside the cube.
Yeah, or on top of the cube, right? So that's maybe not what we want. No, it doesn't appear. So okay, what we can do, so teleport sweep as hit. Oh yeah, so there is option to when we spawn again to like basically not overlap physical objects, which is in the project. So that what happens because theoretically we would spawn back on the top of the cube, but because the cube has a physical attribute, has a collision, we do not spawn on top of it. We just get moved out. But yeah, we can do it this way too. But if I want to do be a little further from the cube, I would reference that blueprint. So I would just move the blueprint, let's say here. For some reason, I don't know, may not be the right thing. But then, oh, I need to rewrite the code, right? So now I have to go back to here. So now we are referencing the blueprint as a point. And so once we do that, we pump, and now we are here in front of the cube. But we teleported on that spot. And it can be, and that's what happens is because we're doing it through a level blueprint, we do have access to things like the static mesh cube, and we can do reference to cube. You can do all this within just the blueprint of the basic blueprint, but then you don't have these references. So level blueprint is sometimes really good to use just for that. So that's like a basic teleport. Please ask me any questions. I know maybe this is not the easiest thing to understand, and I may not be explaining it too well either.
I think I just had a couple questions.
Hmm.
So theoretically, could you reverse the functionality? Like right now, the flow is from the trigger box to the character, but theoretically, could you put the function onto the character itself?
Mm, that the trigger box would hit the character?
Yeah.
Yeah. what would be case for that?
I so so it I'm just trying to like uh
You can cast to so yeah, so but okay, yes, okay, got it. Okay. So this is within the level blueprint. So this is how level blueprint help us to do this. I think I get it. I think I know what you want.
okay,
Uh,
I also
so
have a better example of
so
why you might want to do this
if
also.
okay, great. So if we go to our third person character blueprint, so this is our functionality for moving. We can do every our capsule so as you can see, this is our component. This is our this is our trigger box. The things around the character, that's the trigger box. And we can do a component begin overlap. So if we click on that, we're starting to create the function in reverse. Now,
Yeah.
if we want this to be to the box, and that's where it start to be a little more complicated, because right now I cannot reference the box itself uh, unless it's a blueprint, right?
I see. Okay.
I can't reference that static mesh. So in this scenario, I would basically have to make this into a blueprint. So
Hmm.
that's very easy to do. So this is a cube. I will go to my blueprint tab and says convert selection to blueprint class. I'll just do that, and it's gonna be new subclass static mesh actor, and it's gonna SMJR for cube select. So now I have a blueprint that has a cube inside,
Mm.
and I can do something with that. So if I go back to my character, now I can cast into that cube. So now we're going to cast to cube. No, what was the name? We need the right name. I forgot the name. Uh, SM Chumfer. Okay, interesting. So cast to SM. Uh, oh, there it is. Blueprint, and the object is gonna be uh, a component. And now the cool thing is we can copy and paste things. So I can just copy and paste this part of the code and put it here. And then execution pane, and target is gonna be the target is gonna be the actor. So third person character. We're gonna have to reference that. And then do we gonna do it capsule component? Da, 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 da. Oh, target is gonna be itself. That's right. Promote to variable. Target is oh no. Target is self. It should probably work this way. I need a location, so I want to go to the other cube. So that's where it gets a little tricky, because now we cannot reference we cannot get the cube location. So now that's where we actually can reference this basic blueprint. So we can do uh, get actor of class, and it's gonna be what you might call it, blueprint basic. Yep. And I'm gonna move this a little bit this way, and I'll put this one here. Boom, boom. Get actor location, and then toot. root component. So that's where the blueprint is. That's where we're gonna set our location. And yeah. So now I'm gonna delete the trigger box just because I don't want this to be there. Yes, I know. And I can delete this, and if I disconnect, this is not gonna work. This doesn't exist because there's no trigger box. And theoretically, we get to the cube. See collision needs to overlap. Chip, 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 chip. Collision default overlap, overlap, block all, and overlap. I think I can block all, and the cube is gonna be overlap all. So let's see if this is gonna work. We'll save. That's an experimental thing. So let's see if this helps this way. Blueprint. If we do this, yeah, theoretically. Oh, we have something here. Okay, so I should be here. This should be here. Let's see. So we do pass through now.
So the reason I ask why it's like if it's possible to do it this way is I'm just imagining this potential scenario where you have a level with like 10 different locations the character could teleport to.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you could just assign all of those locations to the same type, and then you just have one string of you just have one function where if the character steps on any of these 10, they can teleport to that location, as opposed to like making it like one by one in the level.
Oh yeah,
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's actually that's this um yeah, that should be quite simple. Oh, hold on. I'm thinking what I did not do.
I'm just making your life difficult.
No, I'm thinking why I don't know, actor object reference. So this is what I need, but then I need these character target. I would say the capsule component set location, set word location, yes, to and to. Let's see. Hmm. Set the component is called. Interesting. Because yeah, so what the way that you set it, we could definitely do it. It's just I am now stuck on this one because I think I'm missing something here. Let me try to move the mesh itself. Set word. Set word location. Let's see. Nope, I'm not colliding with this. So that's actually a good example for something. Now, as we could see, when I showed you, we have a print string, which is a good, and it says, you see here it says development only. It's a good tool for something called debugging. So you would kind of like use this to understand what happens throughout the code that may or may not be executing. So, for example, if I move all of this on the side and I connect this to here, I want to see if this happened. I want to see that says overlapping. So we actually did overlap. So if this component, capsule component, begin overlap with my cube, oh, hold on. Did I not? I did not do. Uh, I did not do collision here properly. Uh, uh, that would explain at least some of my failure.
No, I just sometimes like to break things or to see if they can work the other way.
Yeah, yeah, totally. So let's see. Collision box, apply, and collision overlap all dynamics. Good. Save. And in third person, overlapping. So we did overlap. So that's good. So all of this happened and it successfully executed. So this component overlap with this component. Let's see what else happens. Hey, and we teleported. But we teleported
Oh,
one.
that's so interesting.
We only teleported the mesh. So
Okay.
we
Oh,
need
that's so interesting.
we need to teleport the capsule component that it's like set word location. Boom, and let's see if this is gonna work for us. Pull up. Yep, and we're here.
Hey, that's cool.
So
I guess
now,
it's also, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so now we can do a couple of different things. So let's say I'm gonna delete this point, and I'm gonna try to, so I'm gonna delete this blueprint, and let's say I'm gonna have two or three of those. One, two, this way, and I'm gonna have it this way. So this is gonna be a little bit more. So from this point, we can teleport into one, two, and three. And there has to be some kind of conditions that we meet. And either so if I was doing a game, either you put these conditions into the player's ability. So let's say if he picks three of something, he's gonna go to three. If he doesn't, he's gonna go to one, whatever that is, right? There's some, it's the gameplay, the gameplay design that you wanna do. But let's say you wanna choose one, two, and three, and you wanna choose it. Now we're gonna choose it on based on what number we're gonna put there. We're gonna choose it. So I have three cubes, and the best thing would be to turn them into a blueprint. So actually, I'm gonna go back and delete this one and delete this one, and then I'm gonna turn this one again into a blueprint because that's what most things can happen. Glass, red, and there's a red cube. Cool. And I'm gonna duplicate it. One and two and three. So in order to kind of recognize what we have, I can add a little component here that says text, uh, text, uh, text render, and I'm just gonna type here. Um, I'm just gonna say this is one, and I'm gonna make it a little bigger. So let's say 2 by 2. So if we look at it, this cube now says 1, and oh, that one's 2 because they're the duplicates. Yay! I forgot that there needs to be instances. Uh, but that can be fixed by just making a copy. I'm just gonna make a copy. Don't mind me, just working, duplicate and duplicate. So there's gonna be 1 and there's gonna be 1. So now if I change this one to 2 and this one into 3. I'm just messing with this. I hope you know that
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
doing
of
something,
course.
right? So one, one, two, three. So we have 3 cubes. Now your thing was that if we hit the blue one, you can choose where the player's gonna go. Either you can have conditions, right? Or now I'm not gonna put a condition, but we're gonna tell and we're gonna choose in our blueprint where the player's gonna go. So in here, we can grab or actors of class. So what we have, it says SM chamfer cube red. Okay, I'm gonna move this, and I'm gonna SM chamfer blueprint red. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there has to be instances. Oh, because it's actor of class, but we need actor of classes. Actor of all. Get all actor of class, and then SM. Yeah, it's gonna be the same because we cannot instance it. Hmm. Let me think about this. Yeah, would be easier to. Okay. I'll forget about the numbers just because I want to instance it just to show you how it's instancing, and I'm just gonna do it this way. The numbers just were messing me up, but that can be also fixed. So now this is gonna be a little easier, a little more better. Actor. So get all actors of class. Yep, and then go SM. Blueprint. All right. Blueprint. That one. Yep. And that's the blueprint. SM blueprint. Perfect. Oh, come on. Oh, I can also do, obviously, I can just grab this and just do this. Okay. So now, this is another function. So we're picking all the cubes that exist in the level that have these that share the same name, all the instances, so 1 to 3 of this cube. Now, because we have more than one, there's something that needs to happen because now it's gonna create an it's a little deeper programming, but it's gonna create an array for us. So now this function is gonna grab all the cubes that exist in the level, all that we defined, the 3 of them, and it's going to give us access to all of them. But in order to choose which one we're going to teleport the player to, we're going to have to choose one of them. So that's happened in a loop. So for each loop, and we execute, and then we do a body, and then we do get word get word location, yep, that's what I want. So now it's gonna jump there. Then now we need to get the index. So uh, here we're gonna create some condition. So and so we can choose. This can be done a couple different ways, but this is probably the most easier to explain. So we're gonna go we're gonna do a conditioning. So basically, if I'm gonna create a branch, and branch works if it's true or false. So condition and index element. Let me see. We got the index element. So 1, 2, 3, and I want to choose which one to go to. So there's a couple different ways to think about it. I can grab the condition, grab the index and do equal 0. If it's true, it's gonna go to the first cube, the cube on a 0, but we need to specify that that's the right uh, um, location. So we need to get location for each, but for one of them. So that would be add it. So right now it's just gonna go to location of the first index, I believe. So if I do this, theoretically gonna go to the first, yeah. But we wanted to have the option to go for the other one. And that would happen if we get the location of the other one. So I'm going to delete this. And I want, what do I want from this? Oh, I can look what I'm actually getting. I should be getting, let me see, print. Sorry, this is making stuff on the spot.
Oh yeah, no worries. I was wondering if there's a way to just dictate like which of the um variables like just like you're
Yes,
saying.
yeah, it is. It's just it has to be created, and I'm just thinking
Mm.
how to do that. I'm just gonna blueprint 1, 2, 3. Okay. So it's gonna be based on the index. Um, yeah, it can be maybe not. Maybe this is not the right solution. So we're gonna do it different way. We're gonna go back to what we had. So I'm gonna delete this and delete this, and I'm gonna bring this one back and this one back. And I don't wanna. Maybe I overcomplicated things. So let's see. Actor, actor of class, and I'm gonna do sequence. I have maybe done it too more complicated. It's gonna be a little bit easier this way. And so one is gonna be this one, this one, and this one. Perfect. Okay. And what do I need to do? I have this one here, and this one here, this one here, and this one here. So this is fine. And now we have to condition it. Gonna go there, 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 there. And now we have to choose which one is gonna go to. we're gonna create, so now we're gonna create a new variable, and that's gonna be the number. So I'm gonna call it a cube number, number, cube number. And the variable is not gonna be a Boolean. I wanna also go to explain them. I'm just gonna do a float, that's fine. So now we have created a variable for the first time. So there's a couple different variables that can be created. Booleans, I don't know how much do you know about programming, but Boolean is only, it's basically 0 and 1. So the difference is like it's on and off. Like that's the condition to it. Byte, it's an arbitrary number. Integer is integral number. Float, it's number with 1 point and something, or 3 point, or whatever. That's decimal point. You can create name, string, vector. Vector is three numbers, a 3D vector, a rotator, and transform, and many other variables that exist within normal programming language. So variables are all here, and can be created on your disposal. So right now we have created variable, and we're gonna do something very interesting about it. We're gonna create, like, there's a little I, and we're gonna put like I there. So it's kind of looking at us. And it's also here, this is the check mark that happens with the I that says instance editable. So this is cool because then we don't have to go back to this blueprint to edit the variable. Now, once I create a variable and I drag it into my editor, it's going to ask me to, one of two things. Either I want to get the number, or I want to set the number in that variable. So at this point, I want to get it. And I can copy this a couple of times. And I know I'm making this a little more complicated, but hopefully you will understand. So equal, I could copy, okay, I could copy this whole thing. So it's easier, equal, Control C, and Control C. So that connects to be condition, and this connects to be a condition. Need to compile just to set my number, and 0, 1, and 2. Actually, I can do 1, 2, and 3. So just we have the boxes properly, and compile. That should be it. Now here, if you look into our, but we have it in a third person character, so we not be able to see this until it gets spawned. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah. So that's also why sometimes in the character it doesn't work the way that I want it to. I'll show you later instance editable, how it looks like. But so right now we're gonna set the number to 1. So our variable default number is 1 at this point. So if everything goes according to plan, which usually may not, okay, play in the editor, compile our own blueprint. Where? Ah, yeah, buddy, but I don't really care for you. So we should theoretically come into number 1. Perfect. Now, if we go to our variable and we change to number 2, we should now jump to number 2. Hey, number 2.
Hey.
And if we change this to number 3, I guess we jump to number 3.
All right, that's kind of what I was trying to get at.
So yeah, so it can look like something like this. Um, and you can condition to this or do something here. So let's say we'll do something else. Um, we're gonna we're gonna collect. What time is it? 8. So let's collect coins, and then based on how many coins do we have, that's the number of cube that we jump to. All right. So I'm gonna create coin. I like coins. A level prototyping meshes. Um, let's see if I can do something. Start the content. Mm, props. We could do props. Shapes. Something that's resemble a coin. Uh, well, maybe this one. So, well, this is not a coin, but one. Okay. So first of all, this also gonna have to be a blueprint. So we're just gonna turn this into a blueprint. I'm gonna go to our level class 6. Oh, I saved this one. Oh, let's put this one here. Level class 6, and then BP, BB for blueprints, and then we're gonna create this one's gonna be blueprint class, and it's gonna be uh, BP coin, BP coin. Yay, we have a coin. And we're gonna add collision capsule this time because it looks like a capsule. Boom. All right. And so what are we gonna try to do? We're gonna collide and collect it. So in third person character, we could copy this. Can we copy this? No, we can't. So capsule component. Oh, interesting. So I'd probably move this to the, that's interesting. So probably move this to the uh, blue, level blueprint in order just to work. Because maybe inside the character is not what we want. So, or we can move it to the, actually to the coin. Yeah, we can do that. So event graph, begin play. No. So a capsule, and then we do begin overlap. So component begin overlap is gonna be cast to BP third. Yeah, we can do that this way. Object character is gonna get. So actually, this is gonna help us too. And then we're gonna create a variable here that's gonna say coins, coins, no, coin number, spell better. It can be, actually it can be integer because it's gonna be a full number. We only have 3. And so, where are we? Where's my thing? Okay. And then, so once we start overlap, we're gonna set uh, set coin number, and then get coin number plus 1. So we overlap, we get the coin number that we have, we add 1, so we want a coin, and then let's see there, print string for now, and just let me know what the number is. So if I go and I overlap, boom, the number 1, perfect. And destroy actor. Now if I duplicate this 3 times, boom, and boom. So we have 3 coins. There, we go, and it's gonna say 1, 2, and 3. So now we have 3 coins. Perfect. So this is setting up. Couple of things we can set up. And so that's a cube number, and we can do coin number, get a coin number. There's a couple of things that should happen with this to be more bulletproof, but so at this point, if I go and I take this cube, so I have 1 coin, I'm gonna go here. Oh, what did I do? I have 1, yes. Oh, I need to change my, yeah, I think it needs to change to integer just because 1 is not the same as 1.0, just in case. Boop, boop. Oh no, actually I'm doing it, that's not the right condition because my cube number is different. Oh, no, 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 this is not the way to do it. I actually have to do this way. 1. Actually, this is the only thing I need. I think this is the way to do it. It was properly the way the first time. Boop, pop, and it's gonna be 1, 2, and 3. So actually, this should be this. So 1 coin and number 1. Perfect. That's what it is. But now if we don't have any coin, we should not be able to go anywhere. So we can do branch here, and we say is the coin number, get a coin number equals 0. If it's equal 0, then don't do anything. If it's not equal 0, then continue. So now if we don't have any coins, we don't teleport anywhere. If we grab a coin, 1 and 2, we should go to cube number 2. Yeah, number 2. If we don't have any coins, we don't go anywhere. 1 coin, 2 coins, 3 coins. Now we have 3. And door number 3, right here. How is it?
That's really cool. I was going to ask, is there like a resource for learning all the different uh variables and all the different types of things you can do?
Yes, it's called YouTube.
Okay.
No, it's yeah. There is a lot of there's a lot of classes, beginners like intro to blueprints and something like we did right now.
Hmm.
But then also there is like specific things if you want to do specific things with the blueprint. Like for example, do you want to like you can have pre-built somebody pre-built set of blueprints already that works for you and
Hmm.
so this is like building things from scratch, and that's usually how it goes. You kind of experiment and figure out things out in order to make it work, and then you find out that you may have to go somewhere else or like do something like change it where the blueprint's gonna go. But also there is like a simple things like how to um, so for example. Uh, so like a specific things that you want to do. So let's say I want teleport, like with, I don't know, maybe not teleport. Maybe you want, I don't know exactly what you like. You find a specific like 5 to 10 minutes videos for specific things, or you find like a long videos for for blueprints. But yeah, there is many videos out there that teach you all about the functions and stuff in blueprints.
Yeah, I think oftentimes like as you were going through this exercise, like I could think of the possible ways to solve it, but I don't know like the actual names of the functions. Like for instance, the one where you cast to another actor,
Hmm.
that one like the I'm sure it's programming language, but the that's not like a typical way to say that, and I don't understand like what the word cast means.
Yeah,
It's stuff like that.
neither
Or
neither do I, neither nobody. We don't know why they call it cast. Um, we
that's
don't
fair.
know. We don't know. They just call it cast to. It should be called reference to or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, that
Uh,
would make more sense to me.
but they name it cast to for some reason, and there is thousands of videos out there on YouTube, kind of like teaching you how to use the cast node properly, because we still don't know. Well, just like, I don't know.
Or like overlapped versus other actor. Like you would using common sense logic, it seems like overlapped component is the pin you should be using. But but I saw you tried that earlier and it threw an error. Um,
Yeah, yeah, I don't
yeah.
know. yeah, well, I do not like. I learned that I do not. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole. Why it's not working? If I can go quickly around it and fix it.
That's
Uh,
true. Yeah, yeah.
like like you would spend hours on just trying to figure out why the cube itself doesn't do the
Hmm.
collision. I'd rather gonna put the collider component in there and just continue. Because if you get stuck on that, you may never like pass, like continue. And even this code probably, so the funny part is like this is a code, like this is literally like program. Um, it can be probably done much more efficiently and a better way. And if I sit here next week or 2 weeks later or next month, I may think of other way how to do it or get better.
Hmm.
And so you're always gonna be evolving, and it's always gonna get like better and better. And there's always ways
Hmm.
to go around it. And there's no one. The interesting is there's no sometimes there is only one way to do it, but there's many other ways to go and
Hmm.
solve the problem. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I think this was a good showcase of like the difference between like a level blueprint and like an empty blueprint
Yeah,
and
I
the
do like to
the
work
player's
work
one.
in the level blueprint. I feel like there you can do a lot of things there. The difference
Hmm.
is really that if, for example, you go to different level. Yeah, I can show you that too.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
You would go to different level that you would basically not have the functionality of that level translate unless you copy and paste all the things, right? So for
Mm.
example, let's say we collect, let's copy this levels class. We're gonna duplicate this to be level class um, sub sub level, and we're just gonna open this, save, and we're gonna delete these cubes, and I'm gonna delete this. And I'm gonna put here something that is distinguished. So let's say start a content, architecture, no, props, no, shapes, props. Uh, put a stairs in here and make them big. Oh, not just one, big stairs for some reason. And then we change this blueprint in here. And we go to blueprint and then the box, and then we do component overlap. And I'm just gonna do cast to uh, BP third person character object. Cast is fine. Open level by name. I just need the name of the level. Where did I put it? Level naming. So that's gonna Control C. Uh, where is it? Where did I put it? Okay, here. Open this up, and then in our basic, what can we do in this original one? So we need to collect all 3 coins, and then if we do that, we can jump on the other level. Okay. So we'll do it in a character. Oh, we can probably do it on the cube. That's better. Come on. Yeah, I'll do it on this. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna have to delete you, buddy, because you are the same blueprint. And I'm gonna find your buddy. Why did I put this? Blueprints. Why did I put it over here? Well, I'll keep here. Yeah, okay. Oh, I'm gonna have to do a duplicate. Perfect. This is fine. Yep, that's what I want. And then here, what was this? Okay. Control C. Now we need to condition coin, get coin number. It's, I'm gonna do a branch. And condition coin number. Does it equal 3? 3. Yes. So we can open the level. It doesn't, it's not gonna do anything. So if we go, nothing happens. If we go to collect 1, or just jump to number 1, but we can go back and we can collect 2. Now we obviously gonna jump to our 2. I'm gonna go back. Now we have 3. So now theoretically we not gonna go the number 3, but we should jump into the new level. So if I go and overlap, boom, now we're in a different level. And then come back. Yep, now we're back in our level. So that's an instance where if your majority of your code lives inside the level blueprint, once you start switching the levels, that may not translate properly, or you have to copy and paste the big chunk of the code. But the blueprints, they can be dropped and let it go from the blueprint that the level that you are in, right? So that's the difference sometimes. I'm gonna close all these so it's not confusing. Yeah. How is it?
That's really cool. I'm guessing it's just a matter of trial and error and just seeing what the where the best place to write the code is for any particular situation.
Yeah, so like for example, let's say there's like a sequencer sequence that we want to
Mm,
play when something happened in the level. That would probably stay in the level blueprint.
hmm
But when it's another functionality, um, that would probably stay in like a separate, like the basic blueprint, for example.
That makes sense, yeah. And I can see like the value of like not cluttering up the third person uh blueprint with a lot of like gameplay related stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So for example, I can use the basic blueprint that we have created, and that basic blueprint, it's gonna keep, again, it can be done somewhere else, but this basic blueprint, um, it's gonna be telling us how many coins we have left in the in the level, so we know, that we may be looking for more or something. For example, PP coin, PP coin, uh, length, uh, print, string. So, so this is an example where uh, action only happens in when we start playing the game. So if I start playing the game, you're gonna see that it's gonna tell us that we have uh, three, three coins. But once I get to the coin, it it doesn't update. It's updating because there was another thing that we have inside the player ones. But so this doesn't update as we going to play. So in order to this to keep up with the game and constantly telling us, there's another event, and it's called event tick, meaning that ticks on every frame of when we play. So as you can see, if I play this, it's gonna count numbers, and it's sending us numbers. So, and in this moment, if I pick one of the coins, the numbers change to 1, and there's none, 0. Yay, we got all of them. So that's gonna help us with something that it's. How much time do we have? Oh, a couple more minutes. Do you have a couple more minutes?
Yeah, yeah.
So obviously, one thing that we're missing here, and we do not have, it's user interface. So we don't, when we play, we don't have any information. We don't know absolutely anything. And obviously, user interface is a big part of the player experience, many cases. So um, in order to do that, we go to what was I going to say? We're going to blueprints, no, uh, inputs, no, no, no. Oh, user interface. Sorry, my eyes are getting tired. Widget blueprint. That's what we know. That's what we want. And it's gonna be user widget. That's fine. And we're gonna name it UI player. Ooh, that's bad writing. Why are the caps lock on? Running UI player. So this is an example of something that will be. It's also kind of a blueprint, but it can create some graphics. So first thing first, we're gonna have to put. Unfortunately, this is now how Epic does it. It's I don't know why they changed this. I just need to find one thing here that was usually there. Canvas panel. So you just have to bring canvas panel into the frame. It was there by default. Now you just have to drag it in. Once you have a canvas panel, we can bring a text in. We can make it really big. Just for not that big, not that big. And we're gonna write here. We're gonna say I am your game. Yeah. So that's big. Let's see. So that's gonna be our game. So we're gonna go to level blueprint, and here we need to do a little bit of code. So Evan begin play is gonna create widget, and the widget it's gonna be the UI that we just created, UR player, and then we have to add to player screen. We added to player screen, and that should be it. So now if we start playing, it says, I am your game, right on the screen. But the cool thing about which is that they are also programmable. So if I go to here, and I'm not going to be so crazy with the text, I'm going to shrink it down to normal size, and I want to say coins. Well, we bring another text right next to it. And this time we're gonna do a little bit of programming. So it's gonna be a number, so I'm just gonna put 0 at this point. But we're gonna bind something to this text. So there's two sides of a widget. One it's called right on the top right. One's called designer and the other one called graph. The graph is when you do your programming, and then designer it's where you design how it's gonna look like. You bring your pictures and images and artwork and whatnot. So in a graph, we have to create the function. So as we are on we have two tabs here. This is our function, so I can close this one. We always have this function here because that's what we're creating. But there's an event graph too. So on event construct, so when the construct, when the widget has created, we're gonna where's the variable with the coins? We left it in. What do we have to look for? We have it in the basic blueprint. Perfect. So yeah, basic. Yeah, basic blueprint. So we're gonna get actor of class BP basic. we're gonna get so what we can do, we can promote this to a variable, and then we can use it later on in basic BP. We can use it later on in our function. So now we open the function, we get basic BP, and in a basic BP we get the get coin. What do we? We need to set something else. We're only showing, but we're not setting up, and we don't have the variable. So we're gonna create variables called coins, and it's gonna be the integer. So we're gonna set coins, and that's gonna be this number. The length, always the length. And then go to user, and then we get coins. And this is an integer, and we convert it into text. Perfect. So as of right now, you see coins 3. Yay, we have 3 coins in the level. And then we go, I'm going to grab one. Ooh, only 2. And then 1 and 0. And now we teleport. And as you can see, because we created the widget in the level blueprint, once we went to the other level, that does not travel with that level. Now we have spawn again, and we all have to go boom, boom. So that's basic user interface that we can do. Can design this a little better. In order to keep this consistent for different resolution, for example, there's something that I would do better than I did it. I would bring some here things called horizontal box. So I'm just gonna put the horizontal box in here, and I'll put the coins and the text into the horizontal box. That way they are within a container of the horizontal box, and size to content. And then now we can actually do, we can anchor it into a different place. So even if the resolution or some kind of a change happen, it's always going to stay relevant to the anchor. So we want, for example, right now, we want it to stay always this far from the screen when this is the anchor of the left the upper corner, or we're gonna put it in the middle, and we're always gonna stay in the middle. So no matter the size that you change, it's always gonna be in the same place. So just to demonstrate, we can do we can do standalone game. It's gonna take a little bit of time to compile everything. And of course, I forgot to build the basic of everything, and that is an exit. Ta-da!
Oh, yeah.
So level blueprint, always good to go. Level blueprint, nothing simpler than this. Um, escape key, keyboard binding. So on event, somebody press escape, uh, exit, no, quit game actually. Quit game. It's gonna quit game. So that's gonna be now working. And then editor window. So now, no matter how much I resize this, if I can even resize it, the coin thing is gonna stay relevant to that corner. See? If it wouldn't be anchored, I would like lose it. So
Yeah, that
it's
makes sense.
kind of anchoring things here. So now I have a game. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I can go another level. And I can come back. Ooh, one. Still the same. Yeah, so that's kind of basic intro into blueprints. There's really, really, really more to go, and there's animation blueprints, and there are all sorts of workaround that can be done. And but this is just kind of the basic, um, and I think it's not that difficult to learn what which function or which button would do anything. I'm finding much more difficult to actually make it interesting for somebody who would play the game to actually be entertaining and do something. So I really like now I'm really more focusing into like studying gameplay loops and all that stuff more than actually functions. Because you can always Google it or some like figure it out by searching how to do things. But I think where the creative comes to the place is where how do you make it interesting for the players and engaging and challenging and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. The game design part is a lot more subjective and therefore harder to learn.
Yeah, for sure.
This is really cool though. Like like there's so many possibilities.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of a thing that with the blueprints and now with the gaming, you kind of open the can of worms that you can do basically anything you want inside Unreal Engine. What else this thing can do? We just counting the cube, but yeah, we can do a bunch of other stuff with uh oh, sorry. Oh, it's not good. Okay.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to playing around with this. Just doing something very simple.
Yeah. I mean, this is a already good game.
Yeah. Honestly, if you made like a nice environment and if you dress this up as a nice environment, you could already have like a very entertaining game. I don't know if you heard of this game called I think it was Myst or something like that, but it's basically this. You just like run around solving puzzles and that's the whole game. But it was really popular in like the 80s or the 90s.
Right. Yeah, see, that can be a puzzle. Like if you take if you have to run too much around, you can start losing like your health or something. Uh, oh, and actually, this is actually it can be something different. So right now, I have specified where I put these, like I place them myself, right? But I can actually do something different. I can make them not existing, and I can edit this coin blueprint. And on the end, I can say spawn actor from a class and spawn BP coin. And then I'm gonna get the reference to the mesh and then do random and then uh, point spawn camera maybe not point bad spawn run. Transform make relative. Actually get word get location word get word location. Yeah, random point in the bounding box. Let's see if there's a better point. Yeah, I can do point in bounding box. Okay. And then the size of the bounding box is gonna be maybe I can do 100 by 100 by 100. Oh no, Z was gonna be 0. Let's see, it's gonna spawn. Oh, I forgot to spawn, right? Yeah, of course I did. There. Spawn, no, instigator. Cool. Spawn, yeah, okay, sure. Let's see if that works. I'll go and spawn. No, let's see. Maybe the static mesh attempt to access static mesh component. It's not valid. Spawn function consider appropriate. Okay. Class collision. Yeah, maybe the bounding box is not. There was a function that create like a radius. Point. I forgot the name of the function, but we can just do this plus add like 20. I'll find a better function later. And I want to break this one down. And it's just gonna be location. Let's see if it's gonna spawn at least. No, it's not spawning. That's interesting. Oh, still the same error. Oh, because you cannot get this one because I destroyed it already. Got it. So I have to save this prior. Ah, that's right. Yeah, okay. That's why it's not working. So I destroyed it so it cannot read the data where it was. But I can do set word. Oh, I can save it into location, and then it can be a vector, and it's going to be set. Boom, boom, and then coin static mesh component. Get word location, and I'll set this value here, and now I'll get the location and put random there. Boom. Should this work? Yep. So it's spawning. Yep, perfect. That's all I need. And then I'll do yep. Probably can be much bigger. 500 by 500. Compile and save. So now you can, like, not knowing where they appear, so you kind of have to be looking for them. I think 1,000 is even better. But that also means that our count doesn't work anymore because we only going to have one and level at the same time. So there's always just one. So that has to be reprogrammed into something a little different. I mean, So we'd have to rewrite another part of the code. So that's kind of a thing that I'll learn when you do video games. This is something called the um, the production loop. So you add some functionality that it's more interesting, but that also means that you have to go back and rewrite the code that you already did on the beginning to make things work. So now I have to rewrite that so the counts of the coins goes in a different way. So that would probably be it would not be the coin counts. It would have to be how many that we actually collected, not how many it's left in the level. So every time we collect one, we add we adding this number here, right? We grab it, we change the coin number change. Perfect. So if we go to blueprint, this one, and then get the basic, no, we need to get the player actually, because that's on the player side. So that's gonna be again cost to um, BP uh, BP third person character object's gonna be player character, and then we're gonna make this to the variable BP third person. Perfect. And go to BP third person, get BP third, get coin number, and then just get the integer here. So now theoretically we should be getting our numbers up. 1 and 2, already have 2. 3, I already have 3. Where's the other one? 4, 5, 6. Oh, I cannot go there. That's spawned too far. But yeah, I think you get the point. And now something happened, whatever, how much do we collect it or whatever. So this is like a Sonic game kind of a concept.
Yeah, I was wondering about the coin counter, but you resolved it. You just resolved it.
Mm. Yeah, it was because before I counted how many. So it's a different approach, right? Maybe you have like you spawn certain number of enemies in the level, and you count down how many that there disappear when you kill them.
Oh, yeah.
So that kind of gives you a different perspective on the game, or you counting how many you collect of things, so that the counter has to go the other way. Yeah.
Super cool. You basically built the game.
Yeah, not quite, but yeah, you can definitely do something interesting with that. Actually, you can actually probably on the event begin play. Uh, you can spawn this. You don't have to have it here. You can like on the begin play, we can spawn it first. Like we don't even have to know what the first one is. Like we have to be looking for it also since the beginning. But that's just like we have to spawn this one on event begin play. We spawn the first one. We can maybe do it like in the basic blueprint, and then we can do event begin play spawn actor from class, and it's gonna be BP coined, and the transform is gonna be uh run run we need something. So yeah, it can be the basic, just uh actually no, random center, it's gonna be the center's gonna be 0, 0, 0. Bounding box gonna be, so it's not so difficult, just 500 by 500 and spawn. So if I delete this one, theoretically we have no coins in the level, but when we spawn in, we should theoretically be finding one, but I didn't do something. Spawn, 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 transfer, spawn, begin play, spawn. Maybe I'm gonna just put 10, location, value, that should be all be right. Spawn, all inland version spawn. That should be right. No, we don't get to spawn. So something is amiss. Why is that? It's in the basic. Basic blueprint executes when we play. Should be around there. Oh yeah. The center was not doing me any favor. All right, first one. Oh, second one. Oh, you're too far. Well, so we just have to define better the bounding box. But yeah, that's kind of a way to do it. And you don't even have the coins in the level before you start. You have to be looking for them. It's all randomized. Hey.
That's cool.
You can spawn things, you can predefine where things are, but also you can spawn them by, triggering something, um, you know, conditions and all that stuff. So, do you have any questions for Rufus? Sorry, yawning. Not.
No, I think I'll have more like once I try and get into it. I don't know if I can like get to this level of complexity, but it's really cool to see what's possible even on like a very simple level.
Let's call it primitive. That's okay. Let's call it primitive.
What? Oh, yeah, but still, there's still a lot of possibilities here.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm sure I'll run into many issues just because like I'm not really familiar with a lot of like the terms.
Yeah.
Um, that need to be used, and that's like just experience and time and
So there's
going.
also
Yeah.
no, totally. There's also a website called Blueprint UE,
Oh, cool.
and you can look through this. If I logged in, can I log in? Oh, password. All right, let's see. Update password. Got it.
Oh, this is like GitHub, but for blueprints.
Oh yeah, totally. But the thing is, you can copy and paste these like
Oh.
pretty. Okay, so blueprints and profile. So I have a couple of blueprints. Like if you create something that you like and you want to save it, that's kind of a way to do it. Um, so like levels I created here that switches a level. So there's a blueprint for that. I have another ones. So for example, uh, distance tool. So that this was to know how far something is
Mhm.
from certain location. Uh, so you can create those and save them. And then the cool thing is if I copy this one, Control C, and I go back to Unreal to my, for example, basic blueprint, I can just paste it right here and it's all there.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, it's like a GitHub for code, but it keeps the visual part of the script. So you can actually kind of easily have the overview and you can deposit your own and you can make them public or you can find other people's blueprints. Um, I don't even know, like, well, none of those. uh, uh, Spawn single enemy, for example. So that's exactly what we're doing. Enemy to spawn, vector location, make it transform, spawn the enemy, and then he adding them in an array so he can count them, and then a set timer after. So you can, yeah, you can basically take somebody else's code and just help yourself.
Oh, it will also be a good exercise to go into like the Brushify environment
Hmm.
things and look at what's going on with the
With the
environment
material,
tools.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
That would be
yeah,
a great exercise.
yeah. We can do that. Door open and close. Cool.
Oh, that's really cool. That's pretty simple.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is good for blueprints and keeping up with some stuff that I'm reusing it all the time. So sometimes you don't have, like, those, they exist in your project, so you can copy them from one project to the other one. But sometimes you can just put them in the website and just drag them from the website if you want to.
That's very handy.
Mhm.
All right, I'll look into trying to do something simple.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let me know. Let me know uh, what your question's gonna be. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a bunch of them with the blueprints.
Yeah, yeah, I already know. I already know I'm gonna. I knew I would have questions for the retargeting. This is another one. This is like a big class, I think.
Yeah, yeah. This is really just the intro, just to kind of like get to, and then when you get to the pawns and all the other blueprints that are here, like the pawns, the character, the components,
Mhm.
actor components are super cool because that's like you can add it like if you have different characters or component I can add the component to these cubes and those cubes can do something and all the components can be changed. And so it's a lot of things on top of the things and yeah, but this is just a basic functionality to kind of get started and have the basic understanding how Blueprint works. I am,
Just so
however,
I know,
yeah.
um, what are your plans for the rest of the class?
I have outlined it somewhere in the Discord. I had let me see what was in the plan. Let's see. So today we did blueprints, rendering. So this was basically the end of the cinematic class, and then that can either go to the game class or the virtual production class. But I think because you're the only one, we can go to the game class and kind of expand on that.
Oh, okay.
Because now we can actually combine the game and the cinematics, and then we can do animation blueprints where we can set up our own, poses and all that stuff. So because at this point we're just using the third person character, we can use any other character that we want or our own character and basically start building something cool.
What do you mean by custom poses?
So you can so for example if I play with this character, the only things that this person can do is run and then jump, right? So there's not much that this thing can do, this robot. But if I want him to crouch or if I want him to pick up something, for example, I don't want him to just run over thing. I want him to pick up, or interact some other way. So there's gonna be like a moment where it gets to the thing, and there's gonna trigger an animation or animation montage
Oh,
that's gonna is gonna pick up something and save it. Or if I want him to, I don't know, shoot an arrow right now. I don't have anything like it doesn't do anything. So we can
yeah.
add your own custom poses or custom animations that actually is gonna start doing something to this character. Or you have a character that already has it, like a lot of the Paragon characters from Epic Games. They already have all those animations ready. You just have to know how to use them. So we can, well, that's probably the easiest things to do. It's like reuse those and just learn
Mhm.
how to do that with those.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that sounds very interesting. I'm sure like if you added like an NPC, it would also have to have like the idle animations and all the interactions
Yeah,
inside the level.
yeah. So with NPCs, there is something here called yeah. We can continue with that in next classes. There has to be like uh kind of a volume that they gonna be actually moving with in. But yeah, we can actually look into that too. So you can give them like they can start following your character, or they can just patrol the area or do something like that. But that's a part of the AI kind of a process that you can create different actions for them based on what's happening.
Okay, so a lot more to cover.
Oh yeah, we scratched the surface, but that was the main concept of this to be like more spark the interest and kind of look
Mhm.
into the possibilities. And then yes, we uh, there's way more that I don't even know about it. Like I cannot do C++, for example. I can do minimum optimization and things. And yeah, there's tons of stuff to look through.
Cool.
All right, yay!
Yay, we have a game.
Yeah, we have a game. We don't have we need to think about what's the end goal. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Like you said, I think that's kind of like the harder part, the creative like side of it.
yeah, I need
But
to figure out what's gonna be the end goal here.
I think for me, like my ultimate goal is probably to make like a small self-contained game like completely from scratch, like the assets and everything, just as like a hobby project, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah, so
Yeah, well, depends of also. I think the biggest decision on the beginning is it's a third person, first person, top down,
mhm.
platformer, whatever that is. So I think that you have to start with that, and then base your other prospects to it. So for example, if it's a third person game, that influences your texture sizes, right? It's a third person, so your camera never gonna go that close to your textures in from position if you're a first person. First person shooter is gonna be much closer to the subject than third person. So, or even if it's a platformer, you can get away with a lot of other, much smaller texture sizes. So there's a different decisions that go along with the designing of the game itself and the complexity to it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think even if I create just like a simple location for a character to walk around in and like collect stuff, I think that's pretty good for me.
Yeah,
So that's a goal.
no, great. There's a bunch of environments for free in the marketplace. They're stylized. And so if you find those, get them in your launcher, and then we can look through them. And then we can get a character, and then we can make it all work.
Okay, yeah, I'll aside from playing around with the blueprints, I think over this weekend maybe I'll think of like something really simple that we can maybe construct um
Yeah,
programmatically.
yeah,
And I'll maybe give it a shot or something.
perfect. And I'm gonna just collecting these coins here.
I mean, there are some games that are super simple, like uh I don't even think you can call it a game, but there's this one where it's called Cookie Clicker. I'm sure you've
Uh,
heard of it, where all you do is you just collect as many cookies as possible by clicking on like a thing. And of course this is like it's like a browser game, but you can get a lot of fun out of just collecting things.
well, I have 22, 23, and something should have happened if I have so many.
I know, yeah. Or if you don't have enough, something also happens. So you have
Yeah,
to just like stay within the range of coins.
You know, we can put a time limit on it,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and then you have to do something in 30 seconds and collect as many as you can.
Yeah. All right. I
All
have to
right.
hop off for tonight,
Yeah.
but thank you
Perfect.
for a great class.
All right.
Is this like the streamable